Hey, what's up everyone? We have some Union Arena solo leveling gameplay. It is a mirror match, Shadow Army versus Shadow Army. And in this video, we're going to go over some of the cards and a little bit of the gameplay. So while we set up here, I did want to mention that with this deck, you definitely want to go second. It allows you to possibly get a turn 3 raid, but going second is a little better for this deck. So here I play a Sung Jin Woo. It's a fake 0. Look at the top, and you may leave it on top or discard, and then I go into a Tusk, which allows you to filter through your deck by drawing and discarding. Okay, so back to my opponent. He plays a Tusk, and I think he's stuck, so he ends up playing this Sung Jin Woo up at the front because his back line was a little cramped, which he should have just replaced one of the Shadow Soldiers, but you know, small misplay, I guess. Okay, so back to my turn. We push 2. We still have 3 in the back to be able to play another double gen. Sung Jin Woo, I look at the top 3, I get to grab a Shadow Army Affinity or another Sung Jin Woo, and then I grab the Monarch's Domain. So we play that out. I pitched an Igris, so I believe I go into, we go into a Shadow Monarch. Allows me to play Igris from my sideline, and also a Shadow Army, Shadow Soldier, but I didn't have one in hand or in the sideline, so it was just to get an extra attack in this turn. I use Tusk to filter the deck, I tap it, and then I get to draw and discard. This deck is really good at spamming your board, kind of making sure you have a lot of names. The only downside is that you don't do a lot of blocking unless you absolutely have to, and it's just to keep the Shadow Army Affinity names on board to get you to your 12 cost. Alright, so my opponent is trying to figure out what to do. He ends up playing a I want to catch up to him. It is draw 3, discard 2, which in this deck works really well. But it just depends on how you play your deck. I don't run it. I rather use my action point for different cards, but it does synergize well with this deck. So he's buffing everyone with the Monarch's Domain. And like I said, I usually just let attacks go through. Sometimes getting cards from your life really helps your hand, so I let a lot of stuff go through early, just to build up hand size and possibly, you know, hit some specials or even draw in, or you know, get a Sung Jin Woo 12 cost into your hand. So my board is pretty full, I think. I think I'm gonna actually drop the raid. Oh no, just went into attacking. Use Tusk to filter again. And it's back to my opponent. What I like about this deck is that you can buff your small characters up front to make them really big to force your opponent to lose some characters up front, and you can also have at least one of them kind of go under their 4Ks, so you get into the life. And then you also, obviously, like I said, you can play into your big 12 cost, which does have snipe to get rid of stuff on the board. It's just overall a super fun deck. A lot of things, a lot of little things you can do. And as you can see, my opponent was able to get the 12 costs out first, snipe impact, and he hits a triggered for 3k trigger, so I was able to block. I AP drew. I had to replay just so I can try to draw into the 12 cost, which I did. And I pitch a, is that Beru? We go into an Arise to restand 2 AP. And then Shadow Monarch to bring out Icarus and a Shadow Soldier once again. Look at the top two. And I get to sideline something, I keep it as is. And now my board is full and I have all the Shadow Army Affinity and energy to be able to play my 12 costs, and it allows me to restand someone in the front and in the back line. And so we swing there and we tap that it can't be blocked by 4K. It goes through, it gets a restand, which is totally fine. I get to snipe the other one that didn't get the 3K trigger. Snipe impact. Then we get another attack off, and I just use it to filter the deck. Pitching an iron, and then he gets a block, and then one goes through, and then the final swing is an iron. GG's.